At 7:30, we got number 16 BYU, who's 4-1, traveling to Notre Dame, who's 2-2. Notre Dame favor 3.5 points on NBC. By the way, BYU next year is going to be a Power 5 football team, so yeah. I don't know what to really think of BYU, right? I don't know what to think of Independence in general after they get a loss, right? Because Notre Dame's always still considered in playoff contention after they get a loss, but a whole bunch of independent teams are considered not in playoff contention after they get a loss. It's just hard to tell which ones are Group of 5 independents and which ones are Power 5 independents. It's just hard to tell. But apparently BYU is a Power 5 independent because they are still ranked a top 25 football team with a loss. And while Cincinnati's also a ranked football team with a loss, by the way, I'm not doing Cincinnati football because I just don't believe they're still in playoff contention. I don't believe you can make the playoffs even with one loss as an AAC team. Especially Arkansas, considering Arkansas has not looked the greatest so far. Jaron Hall for BYU has gone 120 of 171, thrown for 1,438 yards, 12 touchdowns, 1 interception. Christopher I hardly know, has had 49 carries for 294 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Keanu Hill has had 16 catches for 329 yards and 4 touchdowns. Drew Pine, through the air, has gone 44 of 63, thrown for 459 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. And what has looked like a drastic improvement over Tyler Buckner. Audric Estime had 54 carries for 264 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Michael Mayer, I hardly know her, has had 22 catches for 233 yards and 3 touchdowns. Notre Dame's 8-2, actually 6-2. I'm sorry, 6-2 against Notre Dame all time. For some reason, Wikipedia said 4-2, but then also showed that Notre Dame had won the last 2 matchups. Don't understand that, but Notre Dame has won the last 3 games, ranging from 2005 to 2013. The last BYU victory was in 2004. This is a big game. Big game for BYU on the road, right? They're playing a Notre Dame team which has kind of owned them. Remember, BYU's only beaten Notre Dame twice in their entire history. These are 2 independent teams. Well, next year it's not going to be independent teams. BYU is obviously going to be joining the Big 12 next year. But either way, BYU also making it look like the Big 12 next year could be a very strong conference. UCF, on the other hand, is also repping it. Houston doing, I don't know, their best to make it look like not, although last night's victory over Memphis was thrilling. Memphis kind of threw at the end there, but there has been a while since Memphis has won a game like that. This game has the possibility of being really close, if I'm going to be honest. Notre Dame's 2-0 since with Drew Pine and QB. Now, their opponents aren't the strongest in the world, but I would say UNC is a pretty dang good football team, in my opinion. I would say Cal's not the worst team in the world either, but I think BYU is for sure the best team Notre Dame has played since Ohio State. Best team Drew Pine has played at QB. I think this game has the possibility of being really close and really interesting, but give me BYU to pull off the upset on the road.